You can read the title, you can look at the thumbnail. We are going to be showing you guys the best settings for goals on the PC. So let's jump straight into it. So yeah, we're currently on the menus. As you can see on screen, on the bottom below me, it says early development build. So if you're early enough to watch this video, these settings will help you. If you're a bit later, then they might not help. But I'll probably have an updated video to settings later on whenever the game is officially out. So dive into the settings itself. As you can see, we've got general, controls, video, audio, and set network. In this case, we're not actually talking about general. We're not talking about controls. We're not talking about audio, network. Those are all your preferences. Personally, we're going to dive right into the video settings. And as you can see, it's not that many settings to go through, essentially. But here they are. So the first setting I would like to showcase and tell you guys about is show FPS. If you have not seen my gameplays of goals in general and goals gameplay in general, on the top right of your screen when you play your game, FPS counter, GPU and information, all your GPU information and your FPS counter is right there. Personally, I would recommend you guys showcasing this because you don't want to all of a sudden see an influx of FPS going up and down. You want to keep a consistent frames when it comes to a game like goals, because if it does drop, it can really affect the gameplay outage and your game can stutter, your game can lag. So I'll recommend showcasing your FPS just so that if you see a spike or a dip in certain games, then you'll probably understand like, oh, I need to sort out some sort of setting. I need to upgrade my graphic drivers or update Windows. Like those things you just need to be wary of when it comes to PC. Even though this is a very minimal running game, I'd still recommend showcasing FPS. I'd still recommend showing your FPS, because if it dips below 60 and you have 100 and you have a 90 hertz monitor, then there are problems. So showcase your FPS always. Moving on to Vsync. As you can see, it says synchronizes your frame rate with your display's refresh rate. If you're experiencing severe input lag or dropping frames with Vsync enable, you should turn it off. So self-explanatory. If you simply want to not over process your PC at all, turn this on. I have this on because my hertz are around 180. I kind of don't want it to go over 200, but at the same time I haven't actually turned it off, because ever since this game came with Vsync on always for me, I've never experienced any input lag or dropping frames. Besides obviously the controller input, maybe that could be an issue if you do experience some sort of input lag when it comes to controllers. I recommend turning this off. I've only experienced it once or twice in the early stages of this game when it obviously came out, but luckily the developers are always on their flipping duty and listening to every single person, and they have repaired the situation. And shout out to the devs. I 100% recommend turning on the Vsync, because this also helps with the performance side of the game when it comes to stuttering, when it comes to frame drop. So I'd recommend obviously turning this on if you guys are experiencing any of those issues. Moving on to anti-aliasing, I have this off, but if you want best of the best, TSR is the best of the best. I don't actually know what XESS is, but aspect of the gameplay is going to be high quality as possible, and on top of that you'll have super fast rendering when it comes to the game itself. So yeah, when it comes to the rendering of this game is going to be at its peak and pinnacle. So it's basically to get that sharpness of detail of the game. I actually have this off because I personally, when it comes to FIFA and other games, personally I don't really care about the game looking good, because as long as I max my FPS and my frames, I don't really care about how my game looks, as long as I'm also enjoying the game. Like I've been enjoying this game for the last month with anti-aliasing off, but I might actually give this a go. Moving on to rendering quality, and I put it to high, but if you want the best of the best, once again, it is epic. And what this essentially is, it says it in the book, it's literally rendering quality of the game itself. So it kind of mixes with the anti-aliasing with the sharpness of detail. This is rendering quality for your game, so it renders out things very quick and more smoother and more just better. But if you guys can't hack that, then obviously put it to medium or low, but 100% I recommend you guys turning on to epic. Now the final setting is resolution scale. I put it to quality, but obviously make sure it's native. The reason why I put it to quality is once again to maximize my frames, but the reason why there's obviously other options like balance and performance is because this setting essentially helps lower end spec computers, lower end performance based devices to obviously run the game better, sharper, smoother, more frames and whatnot. But if you're wondering, I'm wanting to have the best of the best experience. Native is the way to go because obviously it's your native resolution of your monitor. Not necessarily it's going to be a flipping stretched or crazy part of it, but it literally says native resolution, so it's your resolution scale. That's literally been the best settings for goals. Comment down below if you guys run into any issues, if you run into any stutters, lags, frame drops, etc. Happy to help. Get all the feedback, get all your thoughts about the game, about its performance, if you guys are running into any issues, because developers are here to help. Drop a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Take care and peace.